all my tools in. So there's still people. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon. So let me see what is going on here. I need to put it private for now. Okay. And okay, there it is, private. And then I save it. And I'm using two screens, two monitors, so you're gonna sometimes see like one side of my face. So that's why, because I'm using two monitors. Okay, so here we are. So welcome everybody. My name is Isabel Bombardier and I'm the technology trainer at East Brunswick Library. My background is in engineering. Like I was talking to somebody before. I did little coding in school. Some of you might remember C++. I did that. Visual Basic. Later on, I taught myself Python, and I've been teaching people and young people. And so I hope I can help you get the tools that you need to move ahead. And if you have never done this before, or you've done a little bit, or you feel not confident enough because you haven't done it for a while, you're gonna, I hope, give you enough tools to be able to move upward and take a higher level class in Python. Is this what you want to do? So there's some question here like, no, it's not on YouTube live. I'm recording in YouTube, so I can send it to you at the end of the presentation. It saves me time because I don't have to download, upload. So it goes to the YouTube, but right now it's on private. In the future, I'm gonna let you know, let me go through here. So everybody should be able to see my course schedule. So let's go through that first. So this is our kind of syllabus. And you're gonna see here, I have this. If you go to your Slack, and I'm gonna put this on the Zoom chat too in a little bit. You're gonna scroll up. Here was this Tuesday class. You're gonna see here class schedule. You click that link and it's gonna come up the same document. And then you can save it or just leave it on Slack and pin it for later. I'm gonna take this link and put it today on the Zoom chat. So for people who are not familiar with Slack, next time we're gonna move on Slack. All the questions, all the interactions gonna be on Slack because the Zoom chat, it doesn't have it has a delay. So the time you answer, you ask a question that may have moved on. Also is that it doesn't allow to discussion and also it doesn't save. So, so it's like you can go back, and also if you cannot attend because you're busy, and I understand people have jobs, you can feel that you are in the class. You can ask questions, interact. And in Python, I encourage you to interact more than the previous class, the previous session. So if you were in the previous session and you were interacting that much in Python to get the full blown of this course, the full benefit, interaction is key. Like if you ask a question, why we have curly braces here? What is a string? How much I have to indent? These kind of things are very, I encourage you to do it. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it on a channel, like when you post here in the channel, you're gonna see here, it's gonna be public, everybody can see it. If you do a direct message, you find me, that's gonna be a private. So if you feel uncomfortable, do it on a public channel, just do it on direct message. So here in class link, I have joined with my, yeah. So I've sent, I remember post here where it says Tuesday class. So you can ask questions and I got you, I've sent it, don't worry about it. As long as you're in Slack, I see you. So let me just answer a little bit of this. Okay, so people are joining. Okay, so you have, this is a schedule and every week I keep adding the different lessons. So we are right now in session 2. And on session 2, you're gonna see the Zoom link. So the Zoom link is the same for all the Zoom meetings we're gonna have and the same password. So I'll keep resending you the Zoom link, but if you are, you lost your phone, you don't know what happened, it's the same Zoom link. Or you can go here and find it. Sometimes, because I have to share my Zoom account with other people at the library, we're gonna use YouTube. So that's maybe the confusion. One time we use YouTube. So when we do YouTube, I'm gonna send you the link like half an hour before, because everybody remembers what happened last time. So I'm gonna send you the link to the YouTube on half an hour before. And that's gonna be on YouTube Live. So I have it here, October 20th and October 27th, we're gonna do YouTube Live. So I'm not gonna send you the Zoom link ahead of time. I'm gonna send it to you a half hour before, because that's the way YouTube works. You can do stuff in advance in YouTube. I tried, and for those of you that you guys were here, it was at the back. So we're gonna do half an hour. Okay, so I already talked too much. So we're gonna go here to Intro to Python, and somebody Slack me. So when I say Slack me, is because somebody plays something on Slack. It doesn't mean that somebody is being lazy. So, okay. So so this is what I did. If you go to your class schedule here, my course schedule, you scroll down to week 1.0 and you see the little serpent there is a Python. And so Python is named after Monty Python, is not named after the reptile. So the person, I think it was Dutch, developed the program. He liked Monty Python, but we used that little snake. So you can see here the Zoom meeting and the password, and we're gonna start. This is my script of what we're gonna do today. So if you forget, if you miss class, you're gonna have this here. So the goal is to give you support, tricks, companionship, encouragement, practices. You can take the leap into take a higher level course. And this is not a college class. You're not gonna get grades. So please be comfortable asking questions. It's non-judgment zone. If you feel like you want to ask question private, ask question private. But the main thing is that you feel comfortable asking questions, because when you take a higher level class, it's going to be a much faster pace, and there's not going to be time for questions, especially if you are paying. If you're going to pay for it, it's going to be a different stress. So then for the prep work, it's recommended that you know about functions. I have an idea what a function is in computer science, know what a loops is, what data types is, and most important, you have to be able to read pseudocode. Not so much write it, but read it, be able to read a sequence. So when you read a language, it's from top down, and you should be able at this point, that's why I have session 1, to have enough practice to be able to read a set of statements and be able to understand what's going on and understand the sequence, understand what is the pseudocode trying to do. So that's the skill we were trying to achieve in session 1. And if you feel like you want to go back and see what session 1 was about, I have the link here of all the recording sessions, so you can see my lovely face there and me talking for an hour. The other thing I recommend is do a screen, split screen in your computer. So you have Zoom here on the left, so you can see what I'm doing, because I'm gonna start sharing my screen. And then you can open your IDE, which I'm gonna show you later what IDE is. So you can do it at the same time I'm doing it. And that's why you're gonna have the Slack. And so people have Slack either on their phone or on the app, on the iPad or a tablet, so they can type. So whatever setup, try to split the screen so you can do it at the same time I'm doing it. So the questions are real time and not like later on, like you're midnight and you are stuck because you can't find how to run Python. And so you can go and do it at the same time. Because in the beginning, especially if you haven't done this before or you are rusty, you'll see that it takes a while to get things worked out. So they were asking about the link for the September session. If I'm gonna put it right here, I'm gonna share this. So the September, I'm gonna share this, somebody on Zoom is gonna be, I'm gonna share it here, the document that I just reading, and you're gonna click here where it says the recording sessions are available. And also they are all on Slack. So you can go on Slack, and I'll post on Slack. If you go to the Tuesday class and scroll up, you're gonna find all the links. And also on the East Bronson Public Library YouTube, under tech skills, you're gonna find all the recordings. So there are different ways. So our mantra for this class, and I took lessons from CS50, which is a class developed by Harvard. And the teacher always says at the beginning, what ultimately matters in this course is not so much where you end up relative to your classmates, but where you end up relative to yourself when you began. So make a note, take a note, where you started today, what can you do today versus what you can do in 4 weeks. And not so much, oh, somebody knows more than me, or I know more than somebody else, because you are in charge of your own learning. And this is where we go to the skills of the future. So this is from Accenture. It talks about the skills of the future. Here is build tech, which we want to do more in this session than we did in session 1. But growth mindset, which is the ability to adapt and to learn from your mistakes and don't give up that easy and be resourceful, is going to be more and more important, because at the end of this class, of this session, the idea is that you start teaching yourself rather than me teaching you. And you're going to find tools like Google and other things where you're going to find how to do things, or you can go to YouTube and find tutorials. So, so the goal is like you become more in charge of your own learning. But slowly, how you feel comfortable and start feeling more confident in trying to do. So it's all about trying to do, and thinking about the process of trying and not quitting, thinking about what do I need, and it's incremental steps. So the other thing I've shared with you, you can go to Skillscape and compare your skills. And it's a really nice, if you're trying to shift careers or you're trying to get training, this is a site, is excellent. Okay, so any questions so far? I'm talking a lot for the last 10 minutes, so I'm gonna see if there are any questions. Okay, I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the hands out.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is Skillscape again? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, this is a site, I don't want to stay too much on it. This is, oh God.
Oh, sorry, that was.
Yeah, you can, I will show you because it's really hard to explain. So for example, I'm gonna do programming here. And this is developed by Ponce University, I think MIT with Carnegie Mellon. So you get a skill. So this is like an inventory of all skills and all the jobs in the United States. So they went through a database developed by the Department of Labor, and they pick up all the skills. So it could be nursing, it could be typing, it could be programming, it could be forklift. So you type here and you find what careers do they have these skills? And then you can start doing a deep analysis. So these are careers, they don't do programming at all. And then if you want to shift horizontally, for example, you know programming a little bit, but you want to shift to another area. So it tells you what other jobs will have programming and what jobs won't have any programming. So you can make those decisions. Also, this is a skill network, and the interested one is here. It tells you it's a correlation with the earning. So this goes more into detail. This is like its own classes, you know, and there is a TED talk I can send you about that. And it goes really in depth. So this is something you want to do on yourself and look really deep. But it's a good way to find out what kind of jobs you can go in programming and how much effort do you need. Maybe you need just 1 year or half a year, and how much money it's going to give you, and if you have to move to get that job. So I encourage you to look at it.
Thank you.
And I can send you like more information. I think there is a TED talk and they explain better. Okay, so tools and gear. So this is a handout. I think most of you looked at it. Thank you so much for looking. Oh, they said let me see. What's the link you're using for Slack? Jeff, you are on Slack. You are on Slack. So I have to just email me because you're already on Slack. Jeff Gooderman.
Yeah.
You have a Slack account.
Yeah, I have a Slack account, but I don't see the same thing you shown. You know, you had Slack a different web address than I had.
Okay, let me send you another invitation. You have your email?
Yeah, I opened that PDF you sent me and I clicked on it and it says the link is no longer active.
Okay, so I may write it down here. And I'll do it before the end of the class, so we can try, so you can stay over and I'll try to make it work, okay? So let me go back here. So everybody going through this site. So if you have any problem with Slack, please email me or stay after the class and we'll figure it out. So everybody has Zoom. YouTube, like I said, we're gonna do YouTube 2 times at the end of the month. Slack, so you can have it on your phone or your tablet, or you can have it on the web. This is where we're gonna interact. GitHub, this is another account. I have a couple videos, you can look into it. Who was successful in getting, you can do it on Slack, tell me who successfully got a GitHub account?
I did.
So, okay, so so you can tell me on Slack on the, yeah, cool. And then I'm gonna go through the GitHub, and if you still have problem after that, we'll talk. The other thing is, if you're interested in getting a certificate, I cannot give you a certificate. I can give you a certificate of you completed the class. And I was thinking, some of you got a badge. I was thinking if you finish all these classes, I can give you a certificate from the library. But if you're looking for something more valid, you can sign up to the CS50B EDX. And you click here and it's free and you can get a certificate. Of course, you have to take all the tests. So you make an account in the EDX And then you can find the computer science for business. You enroll. So you click here, enroll. And I have to sign up. Let me see, is it gonna let me sign up? So, okay, let me try with this one. Oh, okay, create account. Now, I have to do it with the other one. Okay, so, but anyway, let me find my other, I have to do an incognito one. So you go to edx.org and like I use my Google account, and you create your account on edX, and then you find CS50 for computer science, CS50 computer science for business professional. This is a class that is taught in Harvard and is offered through edX. So if you complete that class, you get a certificate through edX Harvard, and you can put it on your resume. It has tests, but the tests are not programming. You have to do pseudocode. And I think if you do this class with me, you can get the certificate. It's $90. But I'm going to show you a trick. You can go here and enroll to the class. Oh, I didn't enroll. I had to do it with the other one. You can enroll, like I said here. And instead of buying it, you can scroll down and it's gonna say audit. When you click audit, it bypass the fee and you can take the class and then you can pay only at the end. So if you finish all your tests and you pass all your tests, you can pay the $90. So don't pay it up front, pay it at the end. So you just click enroll. If you have any question, I can show you how to sign up with my other account, which I don't know which one I use. The other one is CS, the IDE, and I'll show you the IDE that we're going to use, and that with GitHub. Again, if you have Google Drive, it's very helpful to have a Gmail account because you have to make so many accounts. And the web browser we're going to use is Chrome. Don't use Internet Explorer or the Edge. And Firefox sometimes, with the IDE, sometimes it'll work, sometimes. So if you find like if you're using Firefox and it's not working properly, try Chrome. And then here, if you're looking for movies or books about computer science, you're welcome to add your own favorite ones. So let's go here and go through the most important part, which is getting this GitHub account. So I have here a video. So if you have this sheet here, this lesson, I have put videos here that explain you how to do the GitHub. So you just go to Google and then you type GitHub. And then you can see it'll get the GitHub site and it has this little cat here. And then you create an account, join GitHub, and you create an account. So you can create it with your Google account or create it with your email. Once you have that, you're gonna go to the CS50 IDE. So what is the CS50 IDE? So CS50, which is the Harvard class that we're using for this course, has created an IDE. IDE is a compiler that works on Amazon Cloud. And so we're gonna put the code there, and I like it because it runs on the web and you don't have to download anything to your computer. If you feel comfortable, if you have done it before, you can download an IDE. There are different IDE, Sublime, there is any of those Terminal, there is Visual Code, but that's gonna run from your computer, and there is it's a different system, and you have to know exactly where your files is. And the other thing is you make a mistake, you might delete your hard drive. So that's why you have to be very careful what you're doing. So if you feel comfortable, you feel free to use the IDE that you want to use. But if you, for the IDE we're going to do, just Google CS50 IDE. And then when you click in, it's going to ask you for the GitHub account. And when you have your GitHub account, you get into the IDE. So any questions about the CS50 IDE? Anybody who was not able to do it? Okay, it seems like everybody got it. So if you have any problems, let me know. And then that's what you get. Okay, so that's good. Seems like everybody is there. We're gonna do a little bit of the folders and a little bit how to make the folders and the code. So let's go a little bit about Python. So if you have taken C++ or C or C# or if you take in C++ and C are the ones that are more familiar with Python. Is less notation. So I have put here a long, if you click here, I have a long slide, Google slide, and it goes into more detail. What I want to show you here is because we have used Scratch in session 1. So in session 1, we talked about, we had used Scratch. So for all of you are familiar with Scratch, so this is the code for Scratch. What does the code says on Scratch? So you can tell me on Slack. I know there is a lot of people going. Okay, so good. So you can use the Tuesday class, or you can use the Zoom chat. And tell me what does this program do here? Anybody knows? Print hello world. And I like how Vijay put exactly hello, comma, space world, because that is very important. It's no hello world, it's hello, lowercase, comma, space, world, lowercase. So it's gonna print this exactly, including the space, because as we know, the space is an ASCII character behind. So all this, we're gonna talk next time on strings, but these are all codes that goes behind. So an empty space in code is not a plain empty space. So what is different on Python? So a Python, we're just gonna type print parentheses, because parentheses, the function, remember we talked last week about built-in functions. So Python has the built-in function called print. So we don't have to create, rediscover the world again. And we don't have to teach Python how to print. We call the function print, and the function print is lowercase print parentheses. So it's going to execute what is inside the parentheses. So here is a very important notation. So anytime we have strings, and last week we talked about the different data types, strings, booleans, integers, and there are more, but they're the main ones. We have to, in strings, we have to tell the computer, hey, we're putting strings, so you need to put print exactly as I put it between the quotes. If you don't put these quotes, the computer is not it's gonna print something different. So, so this quote is gonna print. It's not gonna print the quotes. It's gonna print what is in between. So let's try with the IDE. So where's my IDE? Okay. So my ID here looks a little bit different than yours because I'll want to tell you later why it looks different. But I have here, I already put here my hello world. So the way I'm going to run it, I have to relocate the file. So this is the part where I write the editor, and this is my terminal. So my terminal is connected to these folders. So that's why I'm saying if you're running this on your computers, what is going to happen, what it's going to show here is going to show your hard drive. But here, this is a reflection of these files that I have here. And they're not connected at all to the hard drive of my computer. So ls is going to show me the directories that are available. So ls is the terminal statement that we're going to learn. So ls, you do it to find out where are you at in the directory. So you can see here, they match. So the first folder here is hello. Then we have GS file. Then I have my file, CS50, and my file. So they all match this one. So I know where I am. So I'm right here at the top of my directory looking down. So I'm going to navigate to the place where I have the file that I need to run. So anybody knows that? Maybe somebody remembers, how do I navigate to the folder that I need to get into it? CD, yeah, CD. So I type CD, and then I have to type exactly the way the directory is typed. If you messed it up, it's gonna say error. So I have to be very careful. So it's my file. And I put A so it'll go to the top. So if I put here A, it'll go to the top, and that's why I put A. Otherwise I would have put, because I put here my file and it went to the bottom. So I want it to be here at the top. So I put A, my file, and it has to be exactly. So if I put here capital E, or I misspell it, I'm gonna get an error, because the computer is gonna say, we don't have that file, because computers are literal. So I need to put exactly how it's typed. So this is a good exercise to start getting into this system. So if you've never done this, or if you haven't done it for a while, this is where you have to start thinking in a computer way. You have to start thinking in a computational way. So I click enter, and then I'm in the file. So I can put ls to find out what is inside that directory, that folder. And it's telling me I have one file, and so it matches hello world py. Py is the what we're gonna use to put Python, so the extension, the file extension that we use to tell people that file is Python. So now I'm gonna run it. So the way you run Python on this compiler, in another compiler, it might be different, and you have to Google it and find out. But for most of the compilers, you're gonna write Python space, and then I have to type the name of the file exactly. So sometimes the compiler will help you, will tell you, you can copy paste, and I'm just gonna type it, and it has to be exactly. And this is one of the things that people, when you're beginning, when I was taking class in college, that was the first hurdle, because, you know, when you are 20, you're typing really fast and you're not paying attention. And then you're like, teacher, what happened? It doesn't work. And it's because you missed a letter. So I'm gonna do hello world. And sometimes you guys will tell me, hey, you're missing something. So if you see that I'm typing something wrong, please let me know. And there it is, hello world. So we got what we wanted. So this is the testing. We didn't get an error. We didn't get to debug. If I would have had an error, it would have get a bunch of code. It would have told me that my code cannot be run until it gets fixed. So that's the debugging. I don't have any problems here. So it ran effectively. It did what it's supposed to do. So it was supposed to print hello world, it print hello world. If I do this, if I eliminate one of the quotes, and then I have to save it. So you see here is red. I need to save it. So I go here, save. And I'm gonna try to run it. And I think this remembers. Okay, so I just use the up arrow so I don't have to type again and press enter. It's still telling me, it's still printing it, but I have an error here. So it's telling me there is something wrong there, but it printed it anyway. So let's see if I erase this one, what happened? And I have to save anytime I have a different change on the file, I have to save. So I'm gonna run it again and it's still printing it. And let's remove one. I was just trying to break it. And this is one of the things I told everybody last week. Try to break it and then you fix it. So I'm trying to break it to understand what each part of the program does. And this is also fun to break something. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna run it again. And it's still, no, it's still running. But I get an error here. But I'm just gonna break it all the way and see what happened. I'm gonna save it. And it's still not, it's still printing. So this is a very good compiler. So you can see how much you can break it. Let's see if, I was thinking, oh, I know. I'm gonna change it and I'm gonna put another, this one and see what happens. See if I can break it. So I still, maybe, no, not this one. Maybe let's do this. And let's see if it breaks. Well, maybe for homework, you guys can tell me how did you break it? Or what can I do to break this? Because it's not breaking unless, because it should. Oh, I know what happened. Did you guys know what happened? Anybody notice what happened?
There is
Didn't save.
no,
Anybody knows?
Did you save it?
No, there is something here.
the semicolon in the last is missing.
So you see which one I'm working here? You see this file, the name of the file?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
You're running a hello world.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I'm in the wrong file. So that's why I don't see what's going on. So I need to find this file. See how easy this is. I wasn't trying to show you what could happen, but it happened. So I wanna open this one and see what happens. So this one, I wasn't running. So yeah, exactly. So this is very common. You might be in the right place, doing the right things, but you are completely off. So this is one of the things I want to show you. You have to be very careful. So first, you shouldn't have all these windows open because it gets confusing, as you can see. So I'm going to open this one, and there it is. So now I have the right one. So I'm going to try to run it. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to eliminate this parenthesis. That's why it didn't make sense. Like it should have break. It should have break. So I'm going to run it again. And there it is, our first error. So it's telling me line 4. So when you get the debugging here, the debugging is not going to tell you exactly where the error is. So this is just a suggestion that there is something bad somewhere around line 4, but it's not going to tell you exactly where it is. Sometimes you get clues. This is a syntax error. So a syntax error might give you a clue that you have missing a parenthesis. So you save it again and you run it. Okay. And then you run it again and it's worked. Okay. So what we learn now, you have to be, you can be in the right directory, but you can be here on the editor looking at the wrong thing. So let's go. So this is something one of the things I want to show you is, I'm going to copy paste this program. So if you want to make your own file, you're going to go here, File, New File, and then you're going to paste the program, and then you're going to save it. You're going to save as, and then you have to choose here where you're going to save it. So I'm going to save this one, my second file, and I'm going to put the extension file, py, and then I have to make sure I save it in the right directory. If I save it here, it's going to go there. If I click here, it's going to go here. So you have to make sure you have in the right directory. And then I'm going to do a ls, and it should be there. So now it's my second file. If you want to create a folder, so you want to create a new folder, you can go up. So to go up directory, anybody remembers how to go up at one directory level? Yeah, almost. CD dot space dot. Then you go up, and then you go here. If I want to make another file, is make dir folder, and it created a new file folder. You can see here. The other way, you can make a new file. When you make a new file, you can save it as, and you can create a folder here also. You can create subfolders. So if you're here, you might create a subfolder. So just be careful what level you are. If you have any questions about that, if you want to learn more about the editor, I have here a tutorial by this really nice young man here, and it's gonna go through all the different terminal commands. And here's a complete guide. This is a huge guide. It's for Linux. So if you click here, this guide is gonna tell you everything. So you might want to do a little bit at a time because he goes through a lot. So this is a whole guide how to use terminal. And it's a good refresher if you haven't done a while. So we run Python, we make a file. There is more information here. So next week, we're gonna do more strings. And for the last one, we're gonna do a loop. So for this one, so remember what we're doing on Scratch. So remember what we're doing in Scratch. What does it mean? Repeat 3 interrogation mark. What would that be? So anybody remember from Scratch, or which you can guess? I'm looking to see if anybody remembers. Man, people, you took Scratch last week. Anybody feels? Do it 3 times. Do what 3 times?
Question mark 3 times.
Say the interrogation point. So it'll be 3 interrogation points, 3 times. Okay, very good. So now, thank you for doing that, being brave. And for Python, we're gonna have something similar, but we're gonna use a for loop. So the for loop is this is the syntax. I don't know if we can make it bigger. There it is. So this is the syntax. So like we had in Scratch, we had these puzzle pieces. So imagine Python has the puzzle pieces for the for loop. So the for loop is made by for lowercase. A variable could be I, could be J, could be H, could be a word in range. So it'll be a range of 3. So what does it mean? It means that, let me write it here. So the range is gonna be, for the first iteration, I is equal to 0. So it's gonna say the first value here is gonna be I equal to 0. And then it's gonna print the interrogation point. And forget about this right now. So then it's gonna go to the next iteration. So for the next iteration, what is the value of I? Anybody has a guess? What is the value of I for the next iteration? 1, very good. So the next iteration is I equal 1. And then I'm gonna print 1 interrogation point, mark. Then the next iteration is I equal 2, very good. And then it gets an interrogation mark. Oh, I keep losing my interrogation. And then, is it gonna keep going? No, because in range, it's gonna stop the number. See, range is tricky because it's, it's 3 iterations, but the value of I is gonna start at 0. So you're gonna stop before 3, the value is 3. So you're gonna do 0, 1, 2, and that's it. So anytime if you have if this is 10, you will go 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 9. If you have this 100, it'll be 0 to 99. So the values of I are gonna start 0. So it's always gonna be stopped before this number. So at the end, you're gonna have interrogation points, and it's a loop, a 3 times loop. So let's run that and see what it looks like when you run it. And let's see if I find the right file. Where is my file? Well, I'm gonna copy, make this too big. I have to make it smaller. There it is. So let's see where is my file. And one of the things is I'm gonna show you before we leave. And before we leave, I'm gonna show you where you're gonna get all these files so you have a way to practice. So I'm gonna find my file for the, what am I looking for? The repeat. And that's called Mario. And it's called Mario because they were trying to make, so in Mario Brothers, if you ever play Mario Brothers, the Nintendo game, they have these coins, they have these mountains or bars of coins, and Mario has to jump them, or Luigi has to jump them. So they're trying to make a Mario game, but instead of coins, you make them out of interrogation marks. So that's what they're trying to do. So that's why they call it Mario. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move it to here, so I don't have to change directories. So I'm just gonna put it here. So I just copy paste and then I save it, and let's run this one and see what it looks like. So this is other thing is like, if you can run through it in your mind and have an idea, and that's why reading pseudocode is important. So you start reading it in your mind. And I said that on session 1, I usually do this out loud. I read it to myself. And sometimes I do the iterations on paper, like the values of I, and that helps you predict what is gonna happen. So you can predict what's gonna happen before you run it. And you can compare start calibrating your prediction with the real result. So, and sometimes your prediction is right, but the program has to be fixed. So let's navigate here to the right file, which is my file, and do ls. And I'm gonna run Python. Let me put this above, because sometimes I put stuff here, and there it is. And then I'm gonna do, what is the name of this file? My second file, my second file. You got check to see if I spell it correctly, my second file. Okay, and then I'm gonna run it, and there it is. So I printed, this is 4, I can change it to 3, but I didn't change it. It printed 4 interrogation marks in a row. So this is happening because of this n. If I take this n, we're gonna run out of time, so I'm gonna make this quick. And we're gonna do this again next time. So I'm gonna uncomment this, which means I'm gonna turn off that line by putting a pound, a hashtag. It's gonna turn off the line. I'm gonna save it. So in Python, you can turn off a line. So you invalidate that line by putting the pound. So I'm gonna erase this so you guys can see what the command does. So then I save it, and I'm gonna run it again and see what we get. So this is what we got before, and this is what we got now. So what do you think the end, this command n equal quote space does?
Puts it all in one line?
Exactly. So it adds, it doesn't let it go to the next line. It keeps them all together. So if you have a question, you are still confused, please stay 5 minutes after we finish. We're almost done. So we can check with everybody. So yeah, so that end that's what it does. So I had it written here because I had write stuff, because otherwise I forget. So for the for command, you have to have your colon, and also for the for if statement, for most of the statements functions, you have to have a column. Then you have to indent, and the indent are 4 spaces or 1 left up, because the indentation is the same as Scratch when you put the puzzle inside another puzzle. And then this end is gonna make it to not run to the next line. So it helps if you wanna build like a Christmas tree. So you can think about this going maybe a square. So you can create another loop inside and go and create a square. So that's gonna be the challenge for next class, is see if you can try to make a Christmas tree or at least a square with this little code, and see if you can do a nested. And if you wanna know more about Python, there are videos here. Like I said, CS50, if you click here, that's gonna take you to the video and start on minute 23. He talks about Python. For more in-depth on Python, go to EDX and go to the CS50 week 6 or week 7. I think it's week 6. And that was filmed last year in 2019. And you don't have to, you just have to have an account, and you can enroll, but you don't have to pay or anything. And but next week, we're gonna talk about nesting and about strings. But in the meantime, see if you can play around with and make it see if you can make different shapes. I'm gonna send you, I'm gonna just put it on the Tuesday Slack, the file. So I'm gonna send you all these files you upload them, you go here, file, upload local file. So I'm gonna send you the zip file. One second, let me find it. And I'm gonna put it on the, where did it go? My zip file, it went somewhere. So, okay, so I'm gonna put it here on the Tuesday. It's gonna take a while to upload because I don't know where it went. So with the zip file, you can put it in your computer, download it on your computer, and then upload it to your CS50, and then you can play around with the different code that is there. I suggest you just stay on week 1. Don't go to the other weeks because it gets very complicated after that, and then you need to know arrays and other things. But if you go here to week 1, try the cough and the hello, anything with PY. You don't want to do C because C is not Python. And try Mario, try the Mario ones and see if you do the Marios. Like here it gets more complicated with nested loops. And like I said, this is just if you feel like you can do it. I'm not telling you to do it. If you feel like you need more help, just play around. This is the goal, is that you feel comfortable with CS50 IDE, navigating, making basic terminal commands. And then next week, I'm gonna go more in depth into nested loops. So if you have any questions, if you're Slack or you're confused or you don't make any sense, please stay over. But for all of you that you don't have any question, you're welcome to drop off the class and send me any question through Slack or email. Post, I'm always on Slack, so you can Slack me, either put it on the homework discussion. So if you go to the homework discussion, it's where I'm gonna put information there to talk about the week, so you can look and create discussions or ask me questions. We have the how-to guide, more training. Tuesday class is only on Tuesday, so after today you can go to homework. Class link, that's where I'm gonna put the link for the week. And you can always go to the direct message. So if there are not any questions, I'll see you next Tuesday. Then thank you very much for joining.
Okay,
Thank
Hi.
you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you.
So can you send me the link that you use for US-West, the whole thing? I have a
Okay.
whole.
Okay, who is talking? I don't know who's
This is
talking.
Jeff.
Jeff. So let me email you, email you the invitation. If you can put on the Zoom chat your email, I can email you
Okay,
I can send you another invitation.
I have that one. East Winship Public Library, okay. I have the one that you sent yesterday, is that right?
I just need your email. So if you can
Jeff?
put,
Jeff_Gutterman, you want me to ping into you?
yes,
Okay.
you can put on the Zoom chat.
Okay. All right,
Okay, thank you. So
You're
it's the
welcome.
Yahoo
Thank
one.
you.
Let me see, there, Yahoo. So I'm gonna send it to you. It's because the Zoom doesn't allow me to copy and paste, to copy from yahoo.com. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna say, let's, Jeff, try this one.
Hold on.
I'm gonna put it on the Zoom chat. So try that link on the Zoom chat. This says join Slack. And try that because no, you already are in it. So let's try that. So I have some question here. How do I start Python? Okay, so that's very general question. I haven't, okay, so I answered that question, good. When I try to, I don't see all the files you have. You're not gonna see the files that I have. It's gonna be empty.
Yes, that's what I see. I was
Yeah, it's gonna be empty.
here. I was able to go in here right now. So I actually Googled it and then I put CS50 and then it connected me to GitHub through GitHub. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, so if you go here, new incognito, so I'll do CS50 IDE. I Google CS50 IDE.
Right.
So I click CS50 IDE and it's gonna say login
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna ask me to use a GitHub account.
Yes, that's what I did. And was I supposed to follow you when you were supposed to type, when you were writing this? Because I wasn't able to, I didn't figure
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay.
I was lost for a moment. My
Yeah,
son came up and asked something and that's when we're doing that.
No, there is no, I'm not gonna check your homework and, this is recorded, so people can do it later. So,
my files are all empty. So
yeah, you're gonna be all empty because you haven't used anything.
okay.
So you start, like, for example, this one, I just signed in, but I shouldn't have signed in because, so yours are empty. So
Right.
you're gonna start with file, new file,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna save it as, and you can just save it. You can save it just here and save it. And then see, it'll say untitled.
Okay.
It's an untitled file. But I sent couple of, I'll show you because maybe a lot of people have the same question. And I have, let's see. Somebody just Slack me, but I don't see. Okay, any other questions about CS50 IDE? I don't know, there's some of you there. Anybody else has any questions? Okay, so if you get, you're gonna get this file, where is it? Just this file here is where a lot of the files that I'm using, they're from the class, the CS50 class. So you can download it and then you're gonna upload it up here. You're gonna upload it from local files.
Okay.
And that's gonna give you a starting point where you can go here. When you upload all those files from this zip file to your CS50, you're gonna get this file called CS50 SRC6, and then you're gonna click open and you're gonna see week 1, week 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
We're gonna use only one.
Week 1. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And you can go here to hello PY, and when you click there, you're gonna recognize this is what we just did.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And this is the starting point. You wanna maybe copy that and try to practice making your own file and save it yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so any questions about this from anybody? So
Yeah, I
Jeff,
have a question.
if you might want to send me a screenshot, what do you mean by an IE browser, no Google?
Well, it's not, when I click on it, it doesn't bring me to the Google. It brings me to
So
Internet
when
Explorer.
I click, I just click that link that I sent you and I get this site. This is Slack.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
It doesn't, what kind of
It
browser?
does not bring it to me to the Google web
Okay.
browser. It brings
So
me
one
to
of the
IE browser.
things you can do is go to Slack and Google Slack. Just Google Slack like this.
Okay.
And then you're gonna sign in. So do you have this here, this site?
I can't see that at the same time. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So I get into Slack. On
Uh-huh.
the top side, I see Tuesday class. I'm in there, but I'm not sure that's the.
So do you see this
Hold
on
on.
Slack?
I see Tuesday class, yeah. But then where do I go after that?
Oh, so that's a workspace. So is this the window you see?
No, I got into something similar to what you have.
So you just send me a link and the link, I just click on it. It says sign into your workspace.
Okay.
Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the workspace. So the workspace is, I'm gonna type it.
So
See.
in this Zoom chat, I can't copy it, right?
So no, you're gonna type EVPL, what I just put on your Zoom chat, EVPL dash
Okay.
tech skill, all lowercase, for MC.
Okay, so I got into a Zoom. I see channels, class link, class
Yeah.
materials, homework.
Yes, awesome.
Now I'm
So-
in Tuesday class.
Yes, so you can Slack me there so I can see you that you are in Tuesday class.
Okay. So you want me to send you a message in there?
Yeah, just put a happy face or something.
Okay.
There, you are there, see?
Okay.
Awesome. So while you're here, you can
Hold on.
download.
Yeah.
You can go up here and download this zip file, and then you have to unzip
Now you
it,
know?
and then you load it up to your CS50 IDE, and then you get a bunch of files on Python that you can play with. If you go up here, all the way up, you see the document I just had.
Okay, go all the way up.
Yeah, where it says today. So today, until today, so you see I put the
Okay.
the
I see
lesson
that.
for today, the document for today, and I just gonna pin it. So, and those are the two documents I shared today, and it has all the information for this class for today.
Okay.
Okay, and if you need to remember how to use Slack, there's some videos here on the how to guide. On the class link, I'm gonna put the link of the Tuesday, how to join on Tuesday. So, if you don't check your email, you can go here. And on homework discussion is where you ask all the questions after today.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm
Okay,
glad
good.
it worked out.
All right, I'll email if you have questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining again.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Thanks for doing a good class. Thanks.
Thank you. So,
Hi.
anybody, any questions?
Yes, hi Isabel, this is Simrat here.
Hi.
Hi, I downloaded the CRS6 and then I uploaded it, but when I tried to open it, it says can't open
Yeah.
SRC6 file format unsupported.
Yeah, so one of the things I mismentioned it, you have to unzip it. So
Okay,
you have to unzip it. So right here, I don't know if you can see my screen. This
Yes,
is
I
a
can see
zip
it.
file. And then when
Okay.
I unzip it, it becomes without the zip file. And that's the one you upload. Sorry about
So-
that.
do you just right click and say unzip?
I don't know what kind of computer you have. Like I have a Mac, so I just double click. Yours, if you
Oh,
have
okay.
a PC, you have to maybe right click and it'll unzip. It's
Okay.
Every computer has its own way to unzip things.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. So anybody has any other questions?
Yeah, hi, this is Adiba here. This is my first class, and I was wondering what sort of background knowledge would I need, or if I go back and look at your recordings, will that help me?
Yes, definitely they will help. The main thing is to be able to read pseudocode, and because we learned that in the first session. So and be comfortable to start writing a small statement, a small programming. So we did in Scratch a little bit of that. We're in Python, we're not going to be writing. We're just going to be taking program that is already written, and then we're going to change it. So it's you have to understand more or less how to read it. So, and the logic behind it.
Okay. And looking at your previous recordings will help me with that.
Yes, we did a lot of, I always start with Scratch because the Scratch is a friendly way to introduce people who had never done any programming, and it's very approachable. So it's very forgiving. It allows people to experiment, and it's less picky about the language.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, if there are no questions, please keep asking questions through Slack. But if there are no questions, I'm gonna end the Zoom meeting. Okay, you guys, you all have been awesome. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye.